Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you all. We're back again with another podcast, and I'm delighted to introduce Corrina, who we have here today. Assalamu alaikum, Corrina.
Walaikum salam.
So today's topic is a sensitive one, and I know it's it's quite overwhelming to anyone that loses a loved one, and I know that today you're here to talk about losing your mum to COVID. So I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for being here with us today and sharing your story and your mum's story. So first of all, how are you, Corrina? How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good. Struggling sometimes, but I'm doing good.
That's that's positive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you feel like you're getting a bit stronger day by day.
Yeah. Some days I'm a lot stronger, and I just have little letdowns every now and again, but she'll just pop into mind, and then it's real. Even though it's real, but it just feels more real. Like you think she's still going to be coming around the corner somewhere, but you get through it.
Yeah. Corrina, can you take us back to when your mum felt ill?
Well, she felt ill in December, the 12th, but that was through a perforated gallbladder that she'd had issues with. Everything seemed fine. She had operations, she had tests done, everything come back fine. She came back home on the 24th of December. She looked really well. We had talks on the phone, like video chats and stuff, because obviously we weren't allowed to visit her. And then she phoned me on the Sunday, I think that was the 28th, I think I worked it out, and asked me if I could go and wash her because she had a tube hanging out side. So she asked me if I'd go around there on the Monday, if I was free to go around there to give her a full body wash, which I said to her, of course, at the end of the day, you're my mum. Yeah. She looked after me when we were little, me and my brothers, so it's repay your favour. You give that love back to them, you know. That's how it's supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
So we did that. So I said to her, I messaged you when I'm leaving, so she knew I was on my way. We had a good laugh, joking around, the good memories that you have to remember. Yeah. And it wasn't until the Tuesday she went back to the hospital with my other brother, and she had the tube taken out. So she phoned me back later that day, and she was like, I can have a bath now. So we was like, oh, that's great. But she said she'll give it a couple of days just to sort of get everything to normal and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And then Wednesday I went to work, and then I got a phone call from my brother, my older brother, telling me that mum was going back into hospital, that she was in pain, and the doctors had told her that, we're going to get you straight back. And then it was on sort of Wednesday to Thursday, I found out properly Thursday that she had caught COVID. Wow. And it was the new strain, and it was in her lungs.
Wow. So she stayed.
So that was quite a big hit.
It was, because you've got your mum's unwell with something different, and then she's been told now she's got COVID and it's hit her lungs.
The worst of it is because mum has sleep apnea, to have oxygen at night time anyway, so she has to have a mask to sleep with oxygen during the night. So as soon as we found out she had the COVID in the lungs, I think that's when it hit us all.
Yeah,
thinking
that is serious.
It's going to be a tough one, yeah.
And did your mum come home, or did she stay in hospital?
No, she was back in hospital Wednesday. What day was that? I think it was the 29th, 28th. Around the 30th, 31st, she was in hospital. That's when we found out about it. So it was around the New Year time that she went back in. By the Saturday night, Sunday morning, I was then told by my brother, because the elder brother was the only one that can contact hospital, and hospital contact him with any updates. And he phoned me up and said, they've put mum into an induced coma. Of course, that was the thing that proper hit me.
Yeah, because that's scary,
Very scary. I mean, some people come out of comas, but I just didn't think she was going to come out of it. in my heart, I didn't think she was going to come out of it.
But how did you what kept you going, Corrina, in this difficult time? What just kept you focused?
I would say Allah, definitely 100%. Allah kind of guided. I think knowing a bit more about Islam, learning it, studying it, having the sisters, the brothers in class, it's helped me a lot, a hell of a lot.
Because I know you on a personal level, because you believe so strongly in the faith and you believe in Allah. You're like, well, Allah gave us this. It's not a mistake. It's just how we're going to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's inspiring for me to see, and for the other brothers and sisters around us that are seeing that. But what gets you to that stage, Corrina? I wanted to speak about just about what got you to that stage that you're like, I have to still trust him. I've got to trust Allah here. I've got to trust his judgment.
Yeah, I think because obviously Mum, she was strong in her own way, like everybody is. But I think because I knew she had it in the lungs and I knew that wasn't good, the only thing I could do was do as much dua, like do as much as I could do, and ask him, you know what's best for her. Please just help her whichever way you think is best for her. Because we also did find out that she had cancer on top of that. And I think when you're sitting there fighting for your life with the COVID as it is, and then think she's got cancer on top of that. So if she comes through one, she's then got to struggle with another. So it was, Allah, you know what's best for her. Like, if you need to take her, because if you think she's going to struggle, I would rather she didn't struggle.
Yeah.
And I think if you've got that positive inside you to think like that,
yeah,
it does help.
Yeah, and it's the not being selfish. See, because we ask Allah for things that we want to keep. Like sometimes we want to keep our grandparents, but they're fragile and they're tired. And to make a dua, to make that prayer and say, Allah, you do what's best for them and not for me.
Yeah.
Is a big thing.
I mean, when I started, I did say to her, like, Allah, please help her, she's my mom.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to lose her. But that was at the very beginning. And then the more it was just going, and then it was just something that just tweaked and thought, you know what, no, you can't just do that. You have to like go with what's best for her. And even me, my brothers and my dad don't have that religious faith in them. It was like we all agreed with the same thing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think when you get everyone agreeing, and I mean, I wasn't there, they all agreed without me while I was coming to them on the Friday. Once we found out about the cancer, they'd already agreed what they wanted to do. They wanted to hear what I wanted to do, but what I said to them was exactly to what they were thinking anyway. So
that gave you comfort.
Yeah.
So Corrina, tell me a bit about your mum.
Yeah, she's a very jokey. She has a funny jokey side to her. She has a very strict side to her too, and who doesn't? She did lose her rag a bit, but I think that was the retirement got to her, and she was stuck at home with dad. And I think she'd just find anything to have a little moan at, to be honest. Like, even if you just raised your voice a little bit, she'd have a go. But you just learn to keep like zip. It's mum. But she was a very bubbly person. I mean, when I worked with her at the cinema, we worked together for about 6 years, I think, something like that. Yeah. And she was just like the mum of the cinema. She got on with everybody, and because she's the older side, they all really liked having like laughs with her and stuff. It was like a big family in the workplace. So yeah, it was nice.
Sounds like she was a character.
Yeah, she had her ways. She did upset a few people, but it's just part of the way she was.
Well, so you mentioned your dad. So how's your dad?
Yeah, I think he's trying to be strong. He's getting there. I see him every weekend. I make an effort to go see him every weekend because now he's my rock, which is really good. But even when we was at the hospital, when my brothers, two people could go say goodbye to mum, my brothers was asking me if I wanted to go. I got to the point where I didn't want to go. I know she's my mum and I wanted to say bye. I just didn't want to see her with tubes, machines. So my brothers went instead. And I stayed at home with dad and kept him company, you know. So yeah, when my brothers come back, I knew it was going to be that night. I just had this sense that it was going to be that night. She was going to go, and it did. It happened. So, and we all went back to dad's the next day. And yeah, we were like pretty much there every day. Like we had me or my brothers there every day for a little while. But now he knows we've got families to look after. He doesn't expect us to be there all the time, but we still go when we can. But I will still make an effort to go every week, even if it's just me and maybe Zane comes with me. But eventually I'll be able to take my husband and Mikhail with me as well, and we can all go as a family. So it will be nice.
It seems like there's a bond now, even more. Like,
oh, he's come out of himself a lot more, and it's really nice to see a different side to dad, because I think when mum was there, mum would do a lot of the, like, we all do a lot of the talking for someone else. But dad's, you can have more of a conversation with dad now. You know, he just opens up so much more, which is so nice to see.
Yeah, that's good, because sometimes when one of the couples go, usually what you find is the other one that's left behind goes in on themselves. So it's so important. It's really good to hear that your dad's done the opposite. So Corrina, anyone, like, if you knew that anyone out there today, if you knew anyone was struggling with the same or similar or different situations, what advice would you give them?
I would definitely say talk to someone. Don't hold it inside yourself, because I think that's not going to help you at all. It'll just bring you down more. You need to be talking to people that you know, how can I put it? Either that's got a faith that can guide you and help you through it, or someone that's just good for you.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's no good going to someone that's not going to really listen to you and is just going to talk about themselves, because they ain't going to want to know. You know, so I think you need to have good, strong people that you can talk to, even if it's the same people all the time or whichever. But you know, it's always good to talk to someone.
And did you feel like you had that? Did you feel like you had a good circle around you? And
yeah, I did. I had you. I had the sisters more than the brothers, because I know I spoke to more of the sisters than the brothers. I know I did speak to some brothers, but and my husband has tried to help me out. But yeah, I'd say that there's been plenty of people, and it has helped me.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, I think we all can relate to being left alone with something that you're struggling with. It's so much harder to push through and see light. Yeah. But then when you have someone there that is, you know, is checking up on you, getting you to talk about your emotions, how you feel, you kind of, it starts to, the picture becomes a bit clearer. The sadness is still there.
Oh, definitely. You know, it's not going to go.
No.
I mean, I mean, I've been to mum and dad's and that now, and dad started moving some of her clothes out. But I think because I went and saw him not this weekend, I did see him this weekend, but it wasn't this week, it was last weekend. We were going through some of her stuff, and I was just saying to him, it hit me, like me and dad were just sitting there, and we both had like a little teary moment. And I said, dad, you know, I just still expect her to come around that corner because her shoes are there, her stuff's still around, you know, and he's having to live with that every day. I go there once a week, and it gets to me every time. So we are slowly trying to sort of make it more comfortable for dad that end. But it is a little bit hard, but you know, tough, but we're getting there.
And I think what people need to understand, the ones around you and around anyone that's lost someone, is not because they don't shed a tear doesn't mean they're not hurting.
Yeah.
And people hurt in different ways. But Corrina, before I end this podcast, I think it'll be really powerful coming from you. For everyone that has their mother around them right now, I want you to give that, and I know you have inspirational words, so I know that it's going to come from the heart. For those that are struggling with their mums or their parents, what would you advise them?
I would want to say, I would take every little time you can with your mum or your dad, because we don't know when our last day will be with them, whether it be us go first or whether it's them that goes before us. I would just try and make as many good memories as you can for you to look back on if anything does happen. Because like I say, we just don't know when that will happen. Look how quick this happened. This happened very quick. But I have got my memories.
Yeah.
So I would say make your memories. Yeah, make your good memories. Forget the bad ones. You don't want to remember the bad ones. Just keep your good memories and just make the most of them while they're with you.
Yeah, see, I told you you're going to come out with something inspiring. That is, that's so
I'd love
true.
to do that, but I can't no more. So
thank you, Corrina. Thank you. It's a hard topic, and you've got to be a strong woman, a strong individual to sit here and, you know, do this with me to help anyone out there. So I applaud you for that. So we'll end the podcast there. So for anyone that's been affected today with today's topic, please email it into us. Continue to follow us and keep check with the updates of our new podcast. It comes out once every 2 weeks. And also, if you have a story, we would love to hear what you've got to say. So just email into us. And we've also got a helpline, so if you want to reach out to us, and even if you've got some questions you might want to ask Corrina, you're fine with taking on some.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you know, feel free. There's I think it's 0300 number on the website, so just check that out. But until next time, please stay safe, take care, and bye for now.